Yo, so before we jump in here, I just had to say something very quickly. The video you're about to watch exists for one clear reason, and that's the comments that came in over the last few weeks on that first video. Hearing people sharing their stories, talking about their experiences in a far more powerful way than I could with just my own voice has been amazing, just hearing how it's landing with people. So yeah, before this rant, I just wanted to jump in, felt the need to just say thanks for that, and yeah, what more can I say really about that?
Freedom. It's not about being straight, it's about being free. Here's my take with my journey with sobriety or whatever. I don't like being beholden to things like that. You know, as humans, what do we already? We gotta have water, you gotta have shelter, you gotta have food. That's enough things to be trapped by. You know, I don't want that. I want ease of life.
It was something that, you know, kept me level. It was something that I felt like I needed, self-medicating. I would wake up in the morning. I would, do coke immediately, even before I had cereal, and then I would have a beer. And then I would smoke weed. I never wanted people to know I was doing cocaine, so the beer and the marijuana leveled me out in a way. It completely numbed me. I didn't care about anything, and I was a robot. But also, with being so numb, it allowed me to go out and meet my fans and be out in the streets. So in a twisted way, it did a positive thing for me, and that's why I didn't see it as an issue. And I was the king of like something tragic happening or something I felt was tragic or stressful, and then spiraling back into it, just needing any excuse to be like, all right, I'm gonna go do cocaine now because I'm upset and I'm dealing with something I don't know how to deal. It's just like my way of copping out and avoiding my issues. With kids listening to me talk now, it could be helping a lot of people. I'm not like one of those people now that used to do cocaine and I'm like, oh, you're bad if you do cocaine, or cocaine's bad and you shouldn't do cocaine. Man, I don't promote any drug, but I'm not judging anybody if they do it. Like I did it and I just abused it in a way, and it didn't benefit me. It didn't benefit Scott. I didn't like the person I was becoming.
And then about 6 months after my youngest was born, we sort of ran out of money and I had to go back out on the road again. But I was like 14 stone and just did not feel like a pop star at all. And so I started taking this drug called Adderall, which is like speed, and to lose the weight. And then I got addicted to this drug because it made me sort of like invincible, and I could work really long hours and be all of the different people that I was required to be at the time. You know, I had always really drunk alcohol to take the edge off of the drugs. Yeah. And then I realized that I was getting up in the morning and just going straight to the minibar and downing those little mini vodka bottles or whiskey, whatever was left. And I remember being in LA and thinking just like, none of this acting out is working anymore. And I did my 90 meetings in 90 days, and I got clean. And then at 6 months, I started drinking again. And almost instantly, I lost everything. I lost my marriage. I lost my house that I'd worked for 10 years to buy. My career started just sinking. I lost all my friends. I was so resentful, so angry all the time. Yeah, and that went on for another 4 years. Yeah. And then I ended up back in the rooms again. It's surrender, you know, more than anything, and acceptance. You know, I get up in the morning and I do my gratitude list, and I try and do my gratitude list before I go to bed as well. And I feel like that really keeps me in check.
You may call me old-fashioned and square and uptight, but I tell you that I think drugs suck. Alcohol is sheer poison. What about moderation? Moderation, just leave that poison behind, you know? You want to play your guitar, you're not going to be able to play your guitar when you're turning blue on the floor of your living room because you shot up too much dope. So, you know, I say live long and stay clean because even though I don't know anybody out there, I like you and I don't want to see you die.
I got drunk like 3 or 4 times in high school. And just never liked it. It really was depressing. Could be my body chemistry. I mean, I don't even drink wine at dinner. I do no alcohol except in my Listerine. You know, my high, being on stage or just playing a record or, you know, life is fine. The rest of it, could be just my biochemistry. It was all a depressant. All of it was a bummer.
Drinking and not drinking is a very personal thing. It is wired into your particular psychology. I can only tell you in the first person who I was, what I did, how it's made my life better. I don't think you have to wait until everything is lost to stop. If you're doing a little bit more than you wanted to, always a good decision to do none of it. So I just want to be an example of somebody who said, that's enough. You could see on the chart where when I stopped, my productivity just went through the roof.
You've remained remarkably fun. A lot of people quit drinking and, I don't know, just not fun anymore.
You have to be very careful when you excise that little tumor that you don't take out other tissue. That's highly important. I think there's a lot of people who just need to know that it is, for many, 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 many people, a rite of passage to discover it, use it, overuse it, and put it away. All we have is, I don't drink, I do drink, or I'm now sober because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And I think there are some shades in between.
Hey, I'm Lana Del Rey, and we are on the set of my Rolling Stone UK cover shoot.
So next we're going to be jumping into some words from Lana Del Rey, an artist who has been sober most of her adult life, and who wrote of substance use and her sobriety. When I write about the thing that I've lost, I feel like I'm writing about alcohol, because that was the first love of my life. Sure, there have been people, but it's really alcohol. With Lana, and a lot of creative artistic personality types, I think we can recognise a deep sensitivity to the world that Rick Rubin spoke of in the first video in this series. At the moment I'm working on a video about Mac Miller, and combining some thoughts that have been coming together on that with the discussion of the other artists in this video, I think I'd add to that artistic personality type that we see in some of these people a high level of ambition, imagination, and a kind of burning sense to find a beauty and electricity in experience that sometimes struggles to always be there in reality. And I think we can hear that reaching for hyper-real beauty in the first interview snippet that I'm going to lay down here.
I've been making videos since I was 17. I was originally just collecting vintage footage from different archives and setting moving pictures to classical music. I had a vision of making my life a work of art, and I was looking for people who also felt that way, someone who makes me feel like electric.
And the second quote that I want to use from Lana comes from 11 years later. She speaks about a respect for the importance of presence in her life and work, and alludes to things that can cloud that. We can't know if she's talking about relationships or alcohol for sure, but that search for presence and gratitude for their everyday reality aligns with many of the artists in this video. Their past experiences of substance use, driven by an escape from that presence and a need to numb the reality of their emotional experience.
I think everything that I write comes out of the minutia. I can't remember the last time I wrote something from like a bird's eye view perspective. Why I think it's important to sort of stay vigilant about like keeping the peace around my own heart is because every time I come to a stoplight at like a different corner of where I'm living or staying, I want to feel present in that moment and like be present enough to look around and think about like how beautiful that building is or whatever. When I'm distracted by like, you know, things I've let affect me, I don't notice anything. And I really think that's also what is making the music good. Nothing in the music is really about me. It's always all about the people around me.
Completely off, man. No drinking, smoking, nothing.
Coffee, water, and money.
I heard that, man.
Here, homies, just keep bringing plenty of it. No, nothing. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Wow.
I haven't done it this September before years. It's easy. I was at the club last night.
Available for you?
I was at the club last night. They were popping bottles and doing their thing. I was drinking water. I was the freshest person in the club. I definitely was the richest person in the club.
Say that then. Hello.
So, you know, I feel like it's cocky. You want that? Nah, I'm okay. Thank you. You know, I just keep all my friends around me. So my friends ain't gonna bring nothing around me to hurt me.
You know, I had been locked up in and out so many times, and the last time was real. You know, they was gonna lose me in there. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen I was facing 20, 30 years, and you know, when it got manageable to like 3 years, I was like, okay, I'm taking this serious. I'm changing my whole life. I know they ain't gonna, yeah, they ain't gonna play with me. I can't go down that road. So if I wanted shit to change, I had to change everything. So I just changed my whole approach to everything in my life.